Well, hi everybody, and thanks once again for joining me and the world famous baby May over
Hello guys, good morning.
here. So the title of this video is Should I or Should I Not Buy a Car? And the reason this whole topic came up is that a couple of days ago, a friend of mine and subscriber, Ian, came into town and wanted to meet us, and we've been spending some time together. And in fact, we're going to be leaving in a few hours and go to Sikihor, which is our neighboring island. And Ian is going to go with us, and along with Jenny and her friend. And I don't know if he wants to be named or not. But anyway, we're going to go over there and hang out for a day. And while Ian's been in town, we had the opportunity. He was kind enough to invite us over to his hotel and buy us lunch. And he got baby May a gift and a cake and all that because of her world famous channel now of May's Cooking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I can remember it, I'll put a link to her channel because I never do. But I digress. Anyway. Ian kind of is not, he's from Australia, and we're not going to hold that against him. Maybe just a little. And he's used to driving on the left-hand side of the road, and he's not really akin to driving a motorbike. But I thought it would be fair for him to see some of Dumaguete while he's here and not just hang around in his hotel. So it was my bright idea that we rent a car. And that's exactly what we did the other day, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got this cool little Toyota Wigo, red in color, which is her favorite color.
Yes.
And we were able to pick them up, and we went to Forest Camp, and then we went to, the Cliff House for lunch.
Yes.
And then we went over to Jerry's on the beach. And so we kind of gave them the tour of the island. And we were driving around in nice air-conditioned comfort, weren't we, May? And did you like riding in the car?
Yeah, I like so much.
Which begs the question, should I buy or not buy a car here in the Philippines? Well, if you guys know me, if you've watched my channel at all, I think you pretty much know me as a minimalist. I think I got that word out. I like to live small. I'm not a big believer in possessions. I was also in the car business for the majority of my life, so I have a little inside knowledge about cars and the cost of owning a car. And my core principles that I have brought over here with me have, although I've made lots of mistakes, some of my core principles I still adhere to and still believe in. And one of the major core principles is that I do not want to have anything that anchors me here or anywhere else. In other words, I don't want to own anything that I can't walk away from and just get out of Dodge if I have to. There's too much stuff going on, especially at the stage of the game that I'm in at my age, where I might need medical treatment and I need to go back to the States and long-term care. And so now I've bought this car or this house or this big thing, and I pretty much just got to walk away from it or try to sell it for 10 cents on the dollar. And so that, number one, doesn't make any sense to me. Number two, the thing about a car here in Dumaguete, while on the surface it looks really nice because you're inside, you're air conditioned. It's a lot safer than driving a scooter, because if you get nailed on a scooter, it could be the end of the game. If you get nailed in a car, it's the end of their game, most likely. So there's a major safety benefit to driving a car here in Dumaguete or in the Philippines in general. I just don't like it. The number of reasons why is, I don't have anywhere to park it. So if I was to buy a car tomorrow, that would require me to move. And now, once again, some inanimate object is dictating my life to me instead of the other way around. It's kind of owning me a little bit instead of me owning it. It's going to force me to do something to accommodate it. And not only is there the initial expense of buying a car, but there's the expense of maintaining the car, servicing the car, the depreciation of the car, etc., etc., etc. The second thing about a car that's to me is negative is that if I hit somebody, they're going to get severely hurt. And if I'm driving my scooter and I hit somebody, the way I drive, there may get hurt, but I don't think it's going to be a severe accident. I've dropped my bike 4 different times, and I've got the road rashes pictures to prove it. And I had a guy hit me. He was just flying down the road. I was making a left turn. He was under the influence on his little scooter. He went flying through the air. And actually, both of us walked away from it. And the cool thing about accidents out here, if you want to call it that, is that it's all pretty much just settled right on the spot. You know, if it's like my fault, here's a few bucks, we'll square that away. If it's his fault, the opposite may be true. Maybe they'll take care of you. It's a local, you don't even ask. I was just grateful to get out of the situation. But once again, I'm getting off topic. The car is difficult for me because let's just get away from the expense. Let's just get away from the money aspect of it, or that I'd have to move. But when you drive a car out here, parking is just a nightmare. So I had a car for a month when my friend Joe went to America. And every time that I drove that car, I was really nervous because it was my friend's car, number one. And yes, I did manage to put a dent in it. Gratefully, it only cost me 50 bucks to fix it, and he was totally cool about it anyway. But there's that aspect of it. But you know what? Whenever I got home after driving his car, I was just sweating bullets because there's so many. I've mentioned before, there's kids and there's dogs and there's stuff that's flying in front of you out of nowhere out here. And if you're not paying total attention, I'm speaking for myself. You know, I wear bifocals. My reactions aren't what they used to be. My hearing's not what it used to be. Nothing's what it used to be. Anyway, I knew it was a matter of time before something bad happened. And I don't want something bad to happen. I don't want to hurt someone. A car is really great if it's raining outside and you need to get to the store. But guess what? I wouldn't feel comfortable driving a car out here in the rain. There's open ditches to the right. There's still the same kids, still the same scooters, still the same dogs running at you, and now it's raining. Also, at nighttime, it's very, very difficult to see anything. There's no street lights like we have in America. I was with a friend of mine one time. We were driving in his car, and he took his eye off the road and was trying to find something on his phone and came that close to taking somebody out. They were walking on the road. It was raining. They were dressed in black. There was nothing reflective on them at all. And I actually took the wheel and moved to the left for him because if I hadn't, he would have taken that person right out. And all of our hearts were going like this for the rest of the night. So cars are also a problem for me because they encapsulate you. They put you into a bubble, and now the world starts to become a fishbowl. The windows are up, the air conditioning's on, the music's playing, and you're observing people, but you're observing them inside of this encasement, and you're looking at them through glass. And it's like going through an aquarium looking at fishes. When I'm on my gay-looking little red scooter with her, and we're buzzing around, and we're dodging and ducking, we're hearing things and we're smelling things and we're feeling things, and the whole experience is just so much more. I don't know, and it's not. What's the word? It's just I feel like I'm more part of things. I know what's going on, and for me, it's a lot safer. I can duck and dodge real quick on my little scooter, and in a car, there's blind spots, and I've come very close to putting it into a ditch because I've had to get over because somebody else was coming the other way. The streets here are really super narrow. And even while I was driving Ian and being around the other day with May, we were doing our little tour. A car was coming this way. We were on a very narrow road, and I had about that much clearance between me and the other guy. And to my right was an open ditch, and I had about that much clearance of putting the car over in it. And when I go out, I want to enjoy myself. And when I'm driving the car, I am sweating bullets. And do you remember when we had Joe's car and we were driving down Bacong Valencia Highway,
Yeah.
and I had to hit the brakes? Her face went right into the windshield. Yeah, she learned about seatbelts.
I forgot that.
You forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here I am reminding you. So anyway, would I own a car out here? The solid answer, guys, is no. If I lived in a house and it had a place to park, and it got to the point where driving the scooter was just I was no longer viable on it, or I felt, I'm not in a health condition to no longer keep it up, or my balance issues, I might consider getting an old beater. Just something that I wouldn't worry about when I hit something, if it got a dent or a scratch. I was thinking today, I went to go get our laundry because we're going to Sikihor later, and I was looking at my Kimco bike, and it's over 2 years old, and I mentioned that I've dropped it 3 or 4 times, and I really, the older my bike gets and the more scruffy it gets, and the less shine that it has on it, the more I like it. In other words, it just gets me from point A to point B, and so that's the value that I put into that scooter, is that it transports me and her, and we have fun, and the wind's in our hair, and we can see it, and we can smell it, and we can experience it, and we can just zip in and we can zip out if we've got to go somewhere. When we've had a car in the past, like I said, when Joe loaned it to me, we had to circle to try to find a parking place. To back out, you need someone to help you. They've got to stop traffic and this and that and the other. Making a right turn turns into a major project because, again, there's just stuff, there's open holes, there's this, there's that, and it's just not the experience of driving that I'm accustomed to. I loved driving cars when I was younger. I loved nothing more than a good road trip. But in America, you got the wide open roads, you've got the music going on, there's a lot of scenery. You can just kind of kick back, relax, and almost zone out while you're driving because you don't have to worry about roads with potholes, at least where I live. You don't have to worry about stray dogs and kids and people living on the highway. Driving was fun. It was, and part of my culture growing up in the 60s and 70s, cars were a big part of it. But as I got into the business and I saw how much it depreciates, how much money it takes, you've got to put gas in it, you've got to insure it, you've got to maintain it, you got to make the payments on it. So no, it's just not my kind of thing. What about you, baby May? Would you like to own a car? No?
No.
I'm surprised. I thought you liked the car. I thought you would have said yes.
Someday.
Someday.
But now it's okay for the scooter bike.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because May understands another thing, is that I'm not really a foreigner. I'm a porner. affording the bike. I mean, affording the car just isn't in the old budget, is it, May?
Yeah, I know. I understand that.
All right, a couple of little things we want to go over with you too is yesterday I met up with Ian, who's a subscriber, and I met up with a couple of other people, and I really enjoyed our time together. It's been really rewarding for people to have contacted me, and we've been able to meet in person. Bud Brown, who's a vlogger out here, is a friend of mine, and he brought me this, which is a care package from John and Lorna, and their little note says, "Old dog and new tricks on YouTube." This was in Bud's package. They asked him to give it to me.
Yeah.
Hi, Paul. My hubby and I are your subscribers. We watch you and Baby May
Thank you so much.
every week. We love your positive and upbeat attitude. Keep on smiling. So thank you very, very much.
Guys.
So inside of that package is stuff that like cough drops, lip balm, anti-itch cream, special bug stuff, because they know I hate bugs and I'm always getting bit. And I just want to thank you guys for being loyal and for reaching out to us and allowing us to spend time with you personally. It's really been rewarding. And then May got a special present the other day. You want to show them your present?
Yeah.
This is all the way from Australia.
I would like to thank you to Sir Ian.
And show them how it works.
What's that? Hello. Thank you so much, Sir Ian, for the cow lover.
She gets that, you know. She gets that, and I got a rotten little chicken.
And then thank you so much for the gift for surprise. Thank you so much, sir.
So I think I'll let this thing just do all the talking in the future. But anyway, my chicken is very jealous, and but we're gonna start putting the chicken into the videos. I want to maybe have a chicken naming contest, and the chicken, I want you guys to be watching out for him or her, whatever it is, and because that's going to be the little mascot here on the Old Dog Channel. And what else do we have here? Well, yeah, go ahead. You've got something.
And then I have the from Sir Ian. Thank you so much, sir, for Singapore dollar.
Wow.
It's my first time in my life for touch that. I really appreciate all my life, sir. I'm very first time that. Thank you so much. I keep it forever.
That's the beautiful thing about little baby May, you know, is that with her humble beginnings and when she gets something that's new and different for the first time, she's super excited about it and super appreciative of it. And it just really, it touches her heart, you know, and she creates these memories that she keeps forever. So, you know, we want to thank all of you guys for all your loyalty and your nice comments. And Baby May's got her little cooking show that she's doing. What's the name of your show?
May Cooking.
May Cooking.
Yeah.
And the other day, she didn't cook anything. She went to an okai store. So we have flexibility, okay, in our channels. And I'll do my best to try to remember how to put the friggin' link in there for you guys. I am technically challenged, as you know. And one other quick thing is thanks a lot for the donations that you guys made to the Baby May
thank you so much, guys.
Bikini Fund. She was able to go shopping and do all that kind of stuff. We're not going to ask you all the time to donate money because it came in and she spent it, and that's that, okay? the whole reason we started that is that my channel is not monetized. Google or YouTube has a problem with my content. And I was really pissed off when I first heard about that. I thought, what does the old dog do that's so offensive? And I was having a cup of coffee yesterday with Ian, and I was talking about it, and I said, you know what? I hope I never get monetized, because two things are going to happen. Number one, they're going to put a bunch of annoying ads on there that you guys are going to have to endure, and so you won't be put through that. And number two, with the little PayPal deal, I had promised May that she would get all the YouTube money if we got monetized. And that usually comes to about $200 a month. I asked Bud Brown yesterday, what do you get? He said, I made $175. And he's not shot at me saying that, because he's told people before. So I'm not divulging any of his personal stuff that he hasn't shared. And so I told Ian, I said, you know what I'll do is I'll do everything I can to just stay true to the channel. If I did get monetized, all of a sudden I'd have to start worrying about, am I going to offend somebody, or am I going to get demonetized? And then the whole channel's thing would be about money. And it never got started that way. And I don't want it to end that way or go that way. This channel is for me. This channel is now for us. This is a video scrapbook of my little life here in the Philippines. This is something for me to look back on in 5 years, 10 years, however many years I'm still walking the planet, and revisit. It's something that my kids can watch, my grandkids can watch. If they want to know, their lineage, 100 years from now, there might be some kid running around saying, who's my great-great-great-grandfather? And it happens to be me. And they can come back and watch and see what a knucklehead I am and why they're having so much problems in life. They got my DNA. So anyway, maybe once a month we'll come up and we'll say, hey, we're gonna ask you to donate to Baby May's Bikini Fund, because we do have a goal to replace her savings account that she emptied to pay for her brother-in-law's funeral, right? Yeah. That was 30,000 pesos. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to get like 5 or 10,000 pesos a month until that's replaced. We'll try to do that through the PayPal thing, but it's not something that we're going to do every time. I figured we'll do it once a month. Once a month, we'll remind people that we're trying to take care of Baby May, because instead of hooking up with a foreigner, she hooked up with a foreigner. And since Google doesn't want to pay us, we do appreciate the kindness and the gifts. I'm trying to send emails to everybody that made a donation, but we've had brownouts and then internet things have gone down. We went for 3 days without any water. So I'm way behind in doing that. But if you haven't got an email from me, you will, okay? So we're going to go to Sikihor. We're going to vlog from there. We won't be on the goofy couch because we're actually going to have some scenery. And I can't think of anything else to say. So, no, I'm not going to buy a car. And if I could afford to buy a car, I don't think I would. And that's about all I can think of. You got anything to add? Anything else?
No.
No?
No.
All right. So should we ask them to subscribe, or is that a bad idea? Should we ask to subscribe?
Oh. Don't forget to subscribe my channel.
Yeah, her channel.
Because your channel is very hard. Very long name. Sorry guys.
Yeah. Like I've said every video, if you don't subscribe, I don't blame you. But you gotta subscribe to hers. May's cooking. Okay?
But guys, I'm always support guys.
Always.
I always support. I'm modeling for the YouTube channel.
Yeah, she likes to model, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's putting all of her newfound okai clothes, and she's modeling pictures. You like her little bunny ears? I bought those.
Yeah, I like so much.
I bought those in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice color.
Nice color. She likes red. She likes pink.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and leave the comments, questions, concerns.